Yeah, so chapter 35. Holly pulled up her driveway and took a deep breath before getting out of her car. She should have been to visit Sharon first, and she knew it. Nothing seemed far worse. She walked towards Sharon's car and was surprised to see John stepping out. There was no Sharon to be seen. Her throat became dry. She hoped Sharon was okay. Hi, Holly, John said grimly, banging the car door behind him. John, where's Sharon? I just came from the hospital. He walked towards her slowly. Holly's hands flew to her face and tears filled up her eyes. Oh my God, is she okay? John looked confused. Yes, she's just having a checkup. I'm going back to collect her after I leave here. Holly's hands dropped down by her side. Oh, she said, feeling stupid. You know, if you are that concerned about her, you could call her. John held his head high, and his icy blue eyes stared straight into hers. Holly could see his jaw clenching and unclenching. She held his stare until the force of his gaze caused her to look away. Yeah, I know, she mumbled. Why don't you come inside and I'll make us a cup of tea? At any other time, she would have laughed at herself for saying that. She was turning into one of them. She flicked the switch on the kettle and busied herself while John sat at the table. Sharon doesn't know that I'm here, so I would appreciate it if you didn't say anything. Oh, okay. Polly felt even more disappointed. Sharon hadn't sent him. She didn't even want to see her. She must have given up on Holly altogether. She misses you, you know. John continued to stare straight at her, not blinking for one moment. Holly carried the mugs over to the table and sat down. I miss her too. It's been 2 weeks, Holly. It has not been 2 weeks, Holly protested weakly, feeling uncomfortable under his stony stare. Well, almost two. Anyway, it doesn't matter how long it's been exactly. The two of you used to speak to each other every day. John took the mug from her hand and placed it in front of him. Things used to be very different, John, Holly said angrily. Didn't anybody understand that she was going what she was going through? Was she the only sane person in the whole world these days? Look, we all know what you have been through. John started. I know you all know what I've been through, John. That's blatantly obvious. But you all don't seem to understand that I'm still going through it. There was a silence. That's not true at all, John's voice was quieter, and he fixed his gaze on the mug he was rotating on the table before him. Yes, it is. I can't just move on with my life. You are all doing like you are all doing and pretend that nothing has happened. Do you think that's what we are doing? Well, let's just look at the evidence, shall we? Cody said sarcastically. Sharon is having a baby, and Elise is getting married. Cody, that's called living, John interrupted, looking up. You seem to have forgotten how to do that. And I'm not saying that I think it's easy for you because I know myself that it's not. I miss Jerry too. He was my best mate. I lived right next door to him all my life. I went to play school with the guy for Christ's sake. We went to primary school together, we went to secondary school together, and we played on the same football team. I was his best man at his wedding, and he was mine. Whenever I had a problem, I went to Jerry. Whenever I wanted to have a bit of fun, I went to Jerry. I told him some things that I would never have told Sharon, and he told me things he would never have told you. Just because I wasn't married to him doesn't mean that I don't feel like you do. And just because he's dead doesn't mean that I have to stop living too. Polly sat stunned. John twisted his chair round in order to face her properly. The legs of the chair squeaked loudly in the silence. He took a deep breath before he spoke again. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's horrible. Yes, it's the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my whole life. But I can't just give up. I can't just stop going to the pub because there's two blokes laughing and joking on the stools Jerry and me used to sit on. And I can't stop going to football matches just because it's somewhere we used to go together all the time. I can remember it all right and smile about it, but I can't just stop going there. Tears welled in Holly's eyes as John continued. Sharon knows you are hurting, and she understands. But you have to understand that this is a hugely important time in her life too. And she needs her best friend to get to help her through it. She needs your help, just like you need hers. I'm trying, John, Holly sobbed, so as hot tears rolled down her cheeks. I know you are. He leaned forward and grabbed her hands. But Sharon needs you too. Avoiding the situation isn't going to help anyone or anything. But I went for a job interview today, she sobbed childishly. He tried to hide his smile. That's great news, Holly. How did it go? Shit, she sniffled. And John started laughing. He allowed a silence to fall between them before he spoke again. She's almost 5 months pregnant, you know. What? She didn't tell me. She was afraid to, he said gently. She thought you might get mad at her and never want to speak to her again. Well, it was stupid of her to think that, Holly said angrily and wiped her eyes aggressively. Oh, really? Raised his eyebrows. So, what do you call all this then? Holly looked away. I meant to call her. I really did. I picked up the phone every day, but I just couldn't do it. Then I would say to myself that I'd call the next day, and the next day I would be busy. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I'm truly happy for both of you. Thank you. But it's not me who needs to hear any of this. I know, but I've been so awful. She'll never forgive me now. Don't be stupid, Holly. It's Sharon we are talking about here. It's all forgotten about by tomorrow. Holly raised her eyebrows at him hopefully. Well, maybe not tomorrow, next year, perhaps, and you'll owe her a big time. But she'll eventually forgive you. His icy eyes warmed and twinkled back at her. Stop it, Holly giggled, hitting him on the arm. Can I go with you to see her? Butterflies fluttered in Holly's stomach as they pulled up outside the hospital. She spotted Sharon looking around as she stood alone outside, waiting to be collected. She looked so cute. Holly had to smile. Sharon was going to be a mummy. Holly couldn't believe she was nearly 5 months pregnant. That meant Sharon had been 3 months pregnant when they went away on the holiday. And she hadn't said a word. But more importantly, Holly couldn't believe that she stupidly hadn't noticed the changes in her friend. Of course, she wouldn't have had a bump at only 3 months, but now she looked at her dressed in polo neck and jeans. She could see the swelling of a tiny bump, and it suited her. Holly stepped out of the car, and Sharon's face froze. Oh no, Sharon was going to scream at her. She was going to tell her she hated her, and that she never wanted to see her again, and that she was a crappy friend, and that Sharon's face broke into a smile, and she held her arms out to her. Come here to me, you fool, she said softly. Oh, this is so cute. I love this pension duo. I love this dynamic. And even John's pension duo is so cute. All of it. Polly ran into her arms, there with her best friend, hugging her tight. She felt the tears begin again. Oh, Sharon, I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person. I'm so, 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 so sorry. Please forgive me. I never meant to. Oh, shut up, you whiner, and hug me. Sharon cried too, her voice cracking. This is something about my life in my life. It's so cute. Like this friendship doll. Oh, and they squeezed each other for a long time. John cleared his throat loudly. Oh, come here, you. Ruby smiled and dragged him into their huddle. I presume this was your idea? Shan looked at her husband. No, not at all, he said, winking at Holly. I just passed Holly on the street and told her I'd give her a lift. Yeah, right, Sharon said, linking arms with Holly as they walked towards the car. Well, you certainly gave me a lift anyway. She smiled at her friend. So, what did they say? Polly asked, squeezing herself forward between the two front seats from the back of the car like an excited little child. What is it? Well, you'll never believe this, Holly. Sharon twisted round in her chair and matched her excitement. The doctor told me that, and I believe him because apparently he's one of the best. Anyway, he told me, come on, Holly urged her, dying to hear. He said it's a baby. Holly rolled her eyes. Ha ha. What I mean is it a boy or a girl? It is an it for now. They are not too sure yet. Would you want to know what it is if they could tell you? Sharon scrunched her nose up. I don't know, actually. I haven't figured that out yet. She looked across at John and they smiled excitedly at each other. They shared a secret smile. A familiar pang of jealousy hit Holly as she sat quietly while she let it pass and the excitement returned. The three of them headed back to Holly's house. She and Sharon weren't quite ready to leave each other again after just making up. They had so much to talk about. Sitting around Holly's kitchen table, they made up for the lost time. Sharon Holly went for a job interview today, John said, and he finally managed to get out a word in edgeways. Oh, really? I didn't know you were job hunting already. Jerry's new mission for me, Holly smiled. Oh, was that what it was this month? I was just dying to know. So how did it go? Holly grimaced and held her head in her hands. Oh, it was awful, Sharon. I made a total fool of myself. Really? What was the job? Selling advertising space for that magazine X. Oh, that's cool. I read that at work. I read that at work all the time. Don't think I know that one. What kind of magazine is it? John asked. It kind of has everything in it: fashion, sports, culture, food, reviews, everything really. And adverts. Polly joked. Well, it won't have such good adverts if Polly Kennedy isn't working for them, Shan said kindly. Thanks, but I really don't think I will be. Why? Was what was so wrong with the interview? You can't have had been that bad. Sharon looked intrigued as she reached for the pot of tea. Oh, I think it's bad when the interviewer asks you if you have any experience working on a magazine or newspaper, and you tell him you once wrote a newspaper for a shitty company. Sharon burst out laughing. Newsletter? I hope you weren't referring to that crappy little leaflet that you printed on the computer to advertise that dive of a company. John and Sharon howled with laughter. Ah, well, it was advertising the company. Cody trailed off, feeling even more embarrassed. Remember, you made us all go out and post them around people's houses in the pissing rain and the freezing cold. It took us days to do. Yeah, I remember that. John laughed. Remember, you sent me and Jerry out to post hundreds of them one night. Yeah, Holly almost was almost afraid to hear what came next. Well, we shoved them in the skip at well, we shoved them at the skip at the back of Bob's pub and went in for a few pints. We chuckled at the memory of it, and Holly's jaw dropped. You sly little bastards, she laughed. Because if you two, the company went bust and I lost my job. Oh, I'd say it went bust the minute the people took a look at those leaflets Holly Sharon teased. Anyway, that place was a gift. You used to moan about it every day. Just one of the many jobs Holly moaned about, John joked. But he was right. Yeah, well, I wouldn't have moaned about this one, she said sadly. There's plenty more jobs out there, Sharon reassured her. You just need to brush up your interview skills. Tell me about it. Holly stabbed away at the sugar bowl with a spoon. They sat in silence for a while. You published a newsletter, John repeated a few minutes later, still laughing at the thought of it. Shut up, you, Holly cringed. Hey, what else did you and Jerry get up to that I don't know about? Holly suddenly demanded. Ah, a true friend never reveals secrets, John teased, and his eyes danced with the memories. But something had been unlocked, and after Holly and Sharon threatened to beat some stories out of him, Holly learned things about her husband that night that she never knew before. For the first time since Jerry died, the three of them laughed and talked about him all night. And Holly finally learned how to talk about her husband without being sad. It used to be the four of them together: Holly, Jerry, Sharon, and John. This time, only three of them gathered to remember the one they had lost. With all the talk, he came alive for them all that night, and soon they would be four again. With the arrival of Sharon and John's baby, life went on. Sweet, oh my god, my heart aches reading to this. Aches and it's happy, it's like alive. Love this chapter. In my thoughts, it's, even if you lose a friendship like that, it's okay. Because at least you had a friendship like that. I mean, this is a beautiful kind of a thing. Like, yes, it's really sad and you'll be really mad at life. But you can go two ways. You could either just like curse yourself or guilty yourself about it or like put yourself through shame and be like, what did I do wrong that God punished me with all this? And you could like pick on all the little tiny bits of things that you could have done wrong and beat yourself about it, or you could just move on with your life. Like life goes on, just like Polly said, and Narita said in the last chapter last time. It's so pretty and so beautiful. Like you can live with the memories. It's choice. Like everything in life is a choice. Love this book. That's why this book is my best, most favorite book. If like anybody would ask, what's your favorite book? This one. And it's been a long relationship. I read this book when I was like 15, 16. I was 16 or 17. I was 16 at that time. No, no, I was 15 at that time that I read this book. My God, it's been 9 years. I'll be like, it's been around 10 years. Such a long relationship with this book. I love this book. Anyways, thank you for listening.